There are moments in life when pain feels pointless, moments when you look at your situation and say, why would God allow this? Why does this hurt so much? What good could possibly come out of this? If you've ever thought that, you're not weak, you're human. And the Bible is full of humans just like you. People who wrestled with confusion, people who begged God for answers, people who wondered if their suffering meant they were forgotten. But every time, God was writing a bigger story than they could see. Today, I want to tell you something important. Your pain is not pointless, it is not wasted, and it is not the end. God has a purpose for your pain, even when you can't see it yet. So take a breath, let your shoulders drop, and listen. Because this message is for you. Let's begin with Joseph, not the prince, not the leader, not the respected man people eventually bowed to. No. Let's start with Joseph the teenager, the one thrown into a pit by his own brothers. Imagine him, dust in his mouth, bruises on his arms, the sound of his brothers arguing about whether to kill him or sell him like cargo. In that moment, do you think Joseph said, "Ah, yes, this must be God's plan to raise me up later"? Of course not. In that moment, it was just pain, betrayal, fear, loss, confusion, just like your pain feels at times. Then Joseph is sold into slavery, falsely accused, thrown into prison for something he didn't do. Years of his life gone, years of waiting, years of wondering if God had forgotten his name. But what looked like a tragedy was actually training. What looked like abandonment was actually alignment. What looked like heartbreak was actually preparation. Joseph didn't know it yet, but every painful chapter was positioning him for a purpose so much bigger than the pain. And years later, when he finally stood in the palace, when he saved thousands from starvation, when he met the same brothers who betrayed him, he looked at them and said words that echo through time. You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. If you're in the pit now, if you're in the prison now, you might not see the good yet. But God is not finished. You will one day look back and say, now I see it. Now I understand. God was doing something in me I couldn't see at the time. Your pain can become your platform. Your suffering can become your strength. Your story can become someone else's rescue. Just like Joseph. Then there's Job, a man who didn't lose one thing, but everything. Children, health, wealth, security, his identity shaken at the deepest level. Imagine Job sitting in ashes, scraping his wounds with broken pottery, begging God for an explanation. Sound familiar? Begging God for a reason, begging God for clarity, begging God for relief. But God didn't answer right away. And sometimes, that's the hardest part. The silence between the prayer and the breakthrough. But listen carefully. God was not ignoring Job. He was preparing Job, not punishing him, positioning him. And in the end, after the questions, the confusion, the tears, after the nights of wondering why God didn't intervene sooner, Job received double what he had lost. But the real gift wasn't the restoration. It wasn't the wealth. It wasn't the healing. The real gift was that Job came to know God more deeply than he ever did before. Pain does that. Pain presses you toward God in ways comfort never could. Pain strips away illusions, distractions, and false security, and leaves only the foundation. And if that foundation is God, you stand stronger than before. Job learned something you need to hear. Sometimes the purpose of pain isn't to destroy you. It's to reveal God to you. Now look at Ruth. Ruth's story doesn't begin with romance. It begins with grief. Her husband died. Her dreams collapsed. Her future evaporated overnight. No children, no stability, no inheritance, just emptiness. But Ruth did something remarkable. She kept going. Not because she understood the plan, not because she saw what was ahead, but because she trusted God one step at a time. Sometimes that's all faith is, taking one more step when you don't know what's next. And through that obedience, through that quiet courage, God wove Ruth into a story bigger than anything she imagined. She thought she was walking into survival, but God was guiding her into destiny. She thought she was picking up leftovers, but God was positioning her for generational blessing. She thought she was forgotten, but God was writing her into the family line of King David and Jesus himself. Listen carefully. Your emptiness might actually be the soil God is planting your future in. What feels like loss today may one day be the birthplace of your greatest blessing. And then we have Paul, a man who begged God 3 times to take away the pain. We don't know exactly what the thorn was. Maybe physical, maybe emotional, maybe spiritual. But we know this. Paul was suffering deeply and wanted God to remove it, just like you've asked God to remove your pain. But God didn't say yes. Instead, he said something better. My grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. In other words, Paul, you don't need less pain. You need more of me. We think strength comes through victory, but God says strength comes through surrender. We think endurance comes through power, but God says endurance comes through weakness. We think growth comes through comfort, but God says growth comes through pressure. Paul learned this truth. The purpose of pain is not always to disappear. Sometimes it's to develop you, not to crush you, but to shape you, not to break you, but to build you, not to weaken you, but to forge a strength in you that only comes through struggle. The pain that feels like failure. Peter's story. Think of Peter, the disciple who swore he'd never abandon Jesus and then denied him 3 times. When Jesus looked at Peter after the 3rd denial, Peter broke. He didn't just feel pain, he felt the pain of failure. But Jesus didn't leave Peter in shame. He restored him. He strengthened him. He called him again, not despite the failure, but through it. Peter's pain became his compassion. His failure became his authority. His restoration became his purpose. God still builds on broken pieces. Your failure isn't final. Your mistake isn't fatal. Your story isn't over. Pain can be the place where God rebuilds you. Now, let's turn to your life. Maybe you're like Joseph, betrayed and confused, or like Job, suffering without answers, or like Ruth, grieving what was lost, or like Paul, carrying a burden that won't lift, or like Peter, crushed by your own mistakes. Whoever you are, wherever you are, God sees you. God hears you. God is with you. And the pain you carry is not meaningless. You may not see the purpose now, but you will. Because God never wastes pain. Never. He transforms it, redeems it, uses it, turns it into testimony, turns it into strength, turns it into wisdom, turns it into compassion, turns it into calling. Pain is often the birthplace of the person God is shaping you to become. So today, if your heart is tired, if your spirit is heavy, if your soul feels stretched thin, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not going through this for nothing. God is working in ways you cannot see. And one day, the purpose will be clearer than the pain. One day you'll look back and say, God, now I understand. You were preparing me. You were strengthening me. You were protecting me. You were shaping me. You were guiding me. God doesn't allow pain to destroy you. He allows pain to develop you, not because he wants to hurt you, but because he wants to heal something deeper. Pain is the fire that refines. It's the storm that roots you. It's the valley that grows you. It's the journey that teaches you. It's the moment that awakens you. Pain becomes purpose when God is in the story. So take a breath, place your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat. It's still beating on purpose for a purpose. Your story isn't over. Your pain isn't the ending. It's the middle. And God is still writing. Let him finish. Because when he does, you will understand why every tear mattered, why every night shaped you, why every loss transformed you, why every unanswered prayer was part of the plan. And you will stand like Joseph and say, what was meant to harm me, God turned for good. You will stand like Job and say, my ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. You will stand like Ruth and say, God rebuilt my life from the ashes. You will stand like Paul and say, his strength carried me through. And you will stand like Peter and say, he restored me and gave me purpose again. Your pain is part of your purpose. Your struggle is part of your story. Your suffering is part of your strength. And through it all, God has never left your side. You're not broken beyond repair. You're becoming someone stronger, someone wiser, someone deeper, someone more compassionate, someone more like Christ. So hold on. God is not finished. And the purpose he is preparing is greater than the pain you're walking through. You will make it. And one day, you will see why this chapter mattered.